everyone, welcome back to my daily video. Every day we learn, grow, and take one small step forward. Let's get started.
Have you ever had one of those brilliant ideas? You know, a life-changing goal, the kind that gets you really excited just thinking about it? So you map it all out, you do the research, you can practically see the finish line. But for some reason, you just can't take that first step. Well, if that sounds even a little bit familiar, trust me, you are not alone. Let's dive into this super common, super frustrating feeling and figure out how to finally get moving. This quote from a Reddit user, wow, it just hits you, right? It perfectly captures that feeling of being stuck in this loop of dreaming and doing nothing. You're daydreaming about a future that feels so close, but you're held back by this invisible paralysis. And this right here is the heart of the problem for so many of us. You're not lazy. In fact, you're the opposite. You're a planner. You find the best info. You create this perfectly sustainable, tailored plan to lose weight or learn a new skill or change careers. The plan is flawless. And then it just sits there. You've done all the work except the work that actually gets you somewhere. So what is really going on here? Because this isn't just a lack of willpower. Nope, there are some deep psychological reasons we get stuck in that planning phase. And to break free, we have to first understand the why behind it all. Okay, so one of the biggest reasons we get stuck is this defense mechanism called self-handicapping. See, our brains are terrified of failure. So without even realizing it, we create our own obstacles. Think about it. You stay up way too late the night before a huge presentation. Now, if it goes badly, you get to say, well, of course it did. I was exhausted. You don't have to face the terrifying possibility that maybe your best effort just wasn't good enough. It's a sneaky way our ego protects itself, but it guarantees we never find out what we're truly capable of. Spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle has another really powerful idea here, the pain body. He describes it as this leftover field of every single emotional pain you've ever felt, all clumped together into its own negative energy. And when something triggers it, this pain body can literally take over your thinking. It feeds on negativity and unhappiness. And what's a better way to feel unhappy than to constantly beat yourself up about the goals you're not achieving? It's like this thing wants you to stay stuck. Okay, so we've just identified some seriously powerful forces working against us, but the good news is we can absolutely fight back. It just requires a pretty big shift in how we think about taking action. It's not about finding some magic motivation fairy. It's about completely changing our mindset. And that brings us to a huge one, the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is that awesome spark, right? It's the why that gets you to make the plan in the first place. But it's an emotion, and we all know emotions are, well, they're not exactly reliable. Discipline, though, that's the structure. That's the how. It's the system you build that carries you forward even on the days you feel zero motivation. Real long-term success isn't built on motivation. It's built on discipline. This quote from Tolle really gets to the core of the mindset shift we need. So often we get lost in what he calls psychological time. We're either regretting the past or we're anxious about the future. But he argues that both of those are just illusions, just stories our minds create. The only place you have any real power, the only place you can actually do anything, is right now, in this present moment. All right, with that new mindset ready to go, let's build our practical toolkit. This is all about the how. These are concrete strategies you can start using today to finally break that cycle and just start doing. First up, let's bring some clarity to the chaos with a simple 3-step process. 1. Prioritize. Make that to-do list, but then actually order it by what's most important. 2. Grade. Take that big, scary goal and break it down into tiny, manageable chunks. And finally, 3. Time. Be realistic about how long each little chunk will actually take. All of a sudden, start a business turns into spend 15 minutes researching domain names. So much less intimidating, right? Now, this might be the most powerful tool in the entire toolkit. It's the 5-minute rule. The deal you make with your brain is simple. You only have to work on that thing you're dreading for 5 minutes. That's it. Come on, anyone can do anything for 5 minutes. The magic here is that starting is always the hardest part. Once you get that ball rolling, you will be amazed how often those 5 minutes turn into 10 or 30 or even an hour. And when you're setting those goals, you gotta make them SMART. This acronym is a classic for a reason. It works. Your goals need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This whole framework turns a vague daydream like, I want to get in shape, into a concrete action plan, like, I will run 3 times a week for 30 minutes for the next month. See the difference? Looking for a few more tricks? Here are some quick strategies to try out. There's worst first. Just get that horrible task out of the way, and the rest of your day feels like a piece of cake. Or use momentum. Start with something easy you enjoy, build up that energy, and then pivot right to the harder task. Know your prime time, that time of day you're at your best, and schedule your important stuff then. And please, don't forget to plan rewards. Guilt-free fun isn't just procrastinating. It's essential fuel to keep you going. Now, even with the best plan in the world, we face some very modern roadblocks. And we have to talk about one of the biggest, the social media paradox. For a lot of us, this is a huge source of distraction and inaction. So check this out, it's a really critical distinction. It turns out that not all social media use is bad for you. Routine use, using it as a tool to actually connect with people as part of your day, can be good for your well-being. The real danger is what they call emotional connection. That's the anxious, compulsive checking, driven by that fear of missing out. That's the stuff that's strongly linked to poor mental health. And the numbers on this are pretty shocking. Research shows that people who use social media for more than 2 hours a day are twice as likely to report feeling socially isolated. Let that sink in. Twice as likely. The very tool that's supposed to connect us is making heavy users feel more alone. And it's so important to understand this is not a failure of your willpower. As Facebook's first president, Sean Parker, admitted, these platforms were designed on purpose to exploit a vulnerability in human psychology. Every single like, every comment, every notification, it's all engineered to give your brain a little hit of dopamine, that reward chemical, just to keep you scrolling and keep you coming back for more. Okay, we have explored the psychology, the mindset shifts, the tools, and the roadblocks. I know, it's a lot to take in, but really it all boils down to taking one single incredibly powerful action, your first step. I just love this piece of advice, which brings us right back to that awesome Reddit community. Forget about perfection, forget the grand plan. Just reframe the action as an experiment. You're not trying to succeed or fail, you're just collecting data. This is such a brilliant way to release all that pressure and that fear of failure. Just try something, see what happens. So, it all comes down to this. You understand the psychology now. You have a whole toolkit full of strategies. The only thing left to do is to take that first step. So I want you to think, right now, what is one tiny 5-minute action you can take, not tomorrow, but today, to move just a little bit closer to one of your goals? That's your only mission. Just begin.
Thanks for watching today's video. Remember, progress comes from showing up daily. See you in the next interesting video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.